Auction time. This is the 6T series auction, 6T01. This is a blade from last week. The buyer didn't contact me, so it's going up for sale again. Okay? So yeah, if you don't contact me by the time the next auction rolls around, I'm going to just put it back up for sale. All right? So I think this was 6S02 in the last auction. But anyway, you can see it all on video. Let me see. Where's my tape measure? Just in case you don't want to go back to look. This one is almost 7 3/4. I would say maybe, yeah, 7 3/4, something like that. Yeah, this is raw Georgia chert. It's a coastal plains variety. We call it butterscotch. It's got a little bit of concrete in it, but it makes for some interesting translucency. See that? It's got blobs, but it's interesting. Yeah, I think so. And I'm using artificial light today because it's almost dark out. I'm late with the auction, and the sun is going to set in about 20 minutes. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, so got a little bit of natural light coming in through the window, but not much. Anyway, this I did not do on video, but there's more. You can see more of it in the last auction. This is my signature, by the way, in case you don't know. And the PAB are my initials, Patrick Allen Blank. Okay? Everything else is self-explanatory. All right. 6T02. This one was also from last week's auction, and I think it was 6S05. All right? Again, I put my initials or my signature on it because I was going to send it off, but the buyer never contacted me. Okay? It's all, you can see it in the last video if you want more detailed description, I guess. Man, that light messes things up. But yeah, it's translucent Georgia chert, raw. Same as the other 6T01. Same material. 6T03, again, Georgia chert. This one I made on video. It was the inconsistent chert video, but I sharpened it off camera. It's now sharpened up all the way around. Now this, I just picked it for the auction. I just pick the edges unless I do something different on video, like beveling or serrations or something different. This is just picked. I usually just pick it to sharpen it, which means I just take off all the lumps, all the dull spots, and I grind it, and I do a couple passes so that everything's nice and even, or as even as I can get it without having to reduce too much width. All right, that's what I call picked. All right, so this is translucent in many areas, but not the whole thing. Like I said, and like in the video, it's inconsistent. It can be a challenge to nap this stuff. Yeah, like you can see right there, there's a little bit of a divot or a scoop out. And then there's a bunch of little steps, fingernail step fractures. Anyway, this one is on video. Almost 6, 5 15/16. Okay, I probably lost a 1/16 of an inch doing the sharpening. Okay? All right. 6T04. I made this partially on video as that black butter biface. I think it's in the last auction. I made 3 bifaces, 2 mahogany obsidian and 1 of this black butter. And then I went ahead and thinned this and sharpened it off camera because it is challenging to work. It's challenging material to get thin because it wants to dive. See that? It wants to do this stuff here. And it wants to scoop out. So I almost installed a big curve in it. I had to really be careful to take the curve out. I lost some of the base because it was really, really off center. I wasn't paying attention anyway. I had to lose some length on it. But anyway, it's sharpened all the way around. It's just pick sharpened. Some of my favorite stuff, even though it's hard to work. As far as obsidians go, I like the black butter stuff a lot. Mainly because of the feel and the look of it. It wants to be thick, which is fine for actual use as a hunting point or a knife. Leave it thick, yes, but for sale and display, I try to get it as thin as possible. Yeah. All right, so 5 and, I don't know, 5/16, a little over 5 1/4 by 2.5. Yeah. And I don't know what the width to thickness ratio is. I think it's about a 1/4 inch thick. Let me see. No, it's a little bit thicker than that. Right? It's like 5/16 thick. Yeah. Yeah, I really do like the look of this stuff. I'll eventually put some of these in my keeper case. Eventually, one day. 6T05. This is one of the bifaces from the last video. I napped it down into a Windust. Yeah, I noticed some of the Windust points have these little flutes. And they end up looking similar to Paternalis points. So that's what I did with this one. It's kind of like a Paternalis basic preform that I did. And then I thinned it, which was actually not bad with this material. It's not as difficult as the black butter to thin down. It's more fragile. It'll snap in half easier, but for some reason the flakes travel a little bit better without diving. But I still get scoop outs like that. And I almost scooped out too much right there. But anyway, I did all of this off camera. It's nice and sharp, but I did grind down this area and this area. Yeah. And every time I look up Windust, I'm amazed that these coexisted with Clovis. Okay. And not all of them have this fluty thing going on. Okay. Some of them do, but some of them don't. Most of them don't. Okay. But they are ground down on the base and the stem. Okay. What else can I say? Oh, yeah. Length. 4 5/8 inches by 1 15/16 inches wide. And I tried to thin it down as much as I could. As thin as possible. With this material, it's kind of dicey. Yeah. A little bit nerve-wracking, but it worked out well, I think. 6T06. Yeah, I made this on video. Full arrowhead display. Full arrowhead on display on the video. Yeah. I think this series was called Patiently Napping or something like that. Okay. I think it is raw chert because it was from the chunk box that I had. A bunch of chunks of this root beerish looking stuff. And I think it is raw, but it's high grade raw. Okay. It can be thinned very easily. Comparatively speaking. A little bit over 2 5/8 by 1 3/8. Okay. No. Yes. Yeah, a little bit over, a little bit under 1 3/8. All right, so I don't know what they call this. It's like a small Marcos. 6T07 Clovis. Yes, Clovis time. Made of the same kind of chert. It is raw. I believe it is raw chert. Root beerish Texas stuff. Kind of thin for the type. Clovis is usually more hefty. But they vary, of course. This one is almost 3 1/8 by inch and 3/16. Yeah. Not on video. I did not do this on video. That thinning flake or flute went further than I thought it would go. Yeah. Most Clovises are not fluted past the halfway point. Most of them are fluted below that amount. And some of them only a quarter or a third of the way. This is like a third of the way here, and this is almost halfway there. So yeah, pretty typical. And size-wise as well, overall size. Okay, 6T08, box of broken bifaces, and a slab or a piece of white magic bleach bottom. Yeah. Okay. This is, oh yeah, I snapped this one trying to make an Ishi style point. The notches on this type of glass, this is from a wine bottle. The notches on this type of glass are very difficult to do because they'll just snap right off, as you can see. But I kept going with it to see what I could do. I can't do anything with it. This particular type of wine bottle glass feels a little bit too tempered to do much notching with. Yeah, but you might still be able to get something out of it. Georgia chert, translucent, right? Yeah. Raw piece. Percussion biface, they call these, because actually direct percussion biface. Yeah, 3 3/4. Lots of rock sellers call these percussion bifaces, but it's actually direct percussion biface. They make these with boppers. Anyway, just give you a chance to work some raw, high-grade butterscotch Georgia chert. It's not as yellow as I would like. That's why it's in here. Yeah. Yeah, white magic bleach. And it has a substantial amount of thickness there. Now, I trimmed off the bottle bottom edge, but I may have overdone it. It didn't leave you much to work with, but as far as length goes, you're going to have to trim most of that off to get it straightened out. But anyways, this is high-grade glass. That's why I'm including it in here. Normally, I wouldn't include things like this in the broken bifaces, but I want you to get a chance to work some high-grade glass. Yeah. Do I really want you to do it? I kind of do, but I know that might be a curiosity that people would like. That it spices up the box. Yeah. This is a very easy to nap obsidian. Now, is it greenish? It looks kind of greenish when it in the sunlight, and maybe some of the translucency is a little greenish, but it naps like fusible glass, the type of glass that you can stack together and fuse together in a kiln. It naps very, very easily, so I included it in this box so it'll give you a chance to nap some obsidian that's very easy to nap. However, it will crush on the edges, so just be aware. I didn't measure this, hold on. 4 1/4. This one is 3 1/8. So with the ease of napping also comes a lot of crushing on the edges. Okay, I thinned this down with indirect percussion with copper. All right. I think it's best to use indirect percussion rather than a bopper to thin this stuff down. This is gray obsidian opaque. I call it dacite. Some people call it dacite. Some people think I'm stupid for using the word dacite. 3 3/4. But it's opaque obsidian, and it's a little bit rough. See, they can't see through. That's what opaque means. Can't see through. It's a little bit rougher in texture, and it's crunchy too, but not as bad as this kind of obsidian as far as crunchy edges. A lot of this stuff is recommended for beginners because it is more like a stone and not glass. But I don't recommend it for beginners because see what happened? Even with me, I get a bite taken out. Even I make mistakes on this. And I go, it's broken. Yeah. But I'm give you a chance to work it. It's interesting stuff. All right, this is from the video. But I thinned it down for you. Yes, I did. 4 1/4, a little bit more than 4 1/4. Yep, I thinned it down. I was gonna make something. Okay, so don't let it go through your head. I didn't do it specifically for you. I just thinned it down and said, well, I ran out of time, so I'm just gonna put it in the box to spice up the box a little bit more. Yep. What is the width? 2 1/4. How thick is it? I don't know. 1/4 inch. Yeah, in millimeters. I don't know, 6 or 7 millimeters. Hard to tell with the shadows. Anyway, if you want a 1/4 inch thick biface, that's 2 inches wide or whatever, 2 3/8. There you go. This particular piece has a little bit more of a goldish color to it than the other from the video. These two are from the video, okay? This one is more of a golden color mixed in with it, but it's not golden. I'm just letting you know it's not as red as the other one. Okay, it's more of an orangey. There you go. Okay. All right, there it is. Rules. These are my cheat notes. There's a better description in the description box below. There will be an auction every Monday. It's supposed to start at 3 p.m., but I've been late lately. Hopefully, now that I have some more time, I'll be able to start all the auctions at 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Look at my previous auctions to see how they work. That's easy to do. A bid in the comment and reply section. If you cannot comment or reply, you will not be able to bid. I can bid for you, but only as a last resort. Yeah. I will not bid for you closer than 5 minutes prior to the close of the auction, so just be aware of that. If you want me to bid for you, you're not going to be able to sneak in at the last minute. Bid under one or more of my pre-populated comments in the comment section. Please always include the item number if you are not sure you have placed your bid under the proper comment. Okay, that's very important. I will like your comment if I see it. I will heart your comment if you win. All right, very important stuff here. That's why it's in my cheat notes. If you don't see a like on your comment or bid as the time approaches the end of the auction, that means I cannot see your comment or your bid. Okay, so try it again and try asking me, can you see it? And if I don't respond, that means I can't see it. If you suspect that your bid is not seen, try to comment with, did you see my bid? Or something like that. If I don't respond, I can't see your bid or your bids. Try getting on someone else's phone or get on your computer or restart or re-update or whatever you need to do to get your stuff fixed up, because it's usually on your end that you can't comment. Make sure that you're not blocked from YouTube from commenting too, because that'll put a wrench in the gears. Try not to bid at the last minute. Yeah. I always put that warning in there, but you guys are sneaky, so I can't help it. Shipping is free in the U.S. International shipping will have a cost of $10 or $20 depending on the weight. I will provide tracking numbers on all packages. For payments, I accept PayPal, either straight sending through PayPal, or I can send you a link to paypal.me that you can pay with a card. I also accept Venmo, Cash App, checks, money orders, cash. I don't recommend cash through the mail, but it's up to you. The auction ends at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay? I will end it. Okay, this is not a live auction. This is an auction video that I post, and then I wait until 9 p.m. Eastern time to start announcing the winners. Okay? Well, I just wait till 9 to cut it off, and then I wait a minute after that, and then I start announcing the winners after a minute. All right, but it changes with your time zone, or depending on your time zone, it ends at different times. So if you're on Central Time, the auction ends at 8. If you're on Mountain Time, the auction ends at 7. If you're on Pacific Time, the auction ends at 6. Okay, perfectly clear? All right, good. No? Too bad. I will begin announcing winners at 9:01 p.m. Eastern. I will hit the heart button if you win. This is the only notification you will receive. Please keep an eye on your comments and bids. Okay? My email is jackcrafty2@gmail.com. Don't forget the number 2. If you are new, please email me your name and address if you win. Okay? All right. So, like I said, there's a better description in the description box below if you want to read that. Not too much more to know. Most of you guys have already been through lots of auctions, so you know exactly what to do. But if you're new, just pay close attention to what's going on. You can get most of it just by participating. You can figure it out just by participating in the auction. I will check as the day progresses too. All right, so you won't be all bidding all alone in the desert with the wind blowing and the sun setting and getting lost, okay? All right, so I hope you like today's items, and good luck.